Yo guys, what is up, Crafter here, and today I wanted to talk about the lack of weapon variety in Battlefield 1. And before you start commenting that it's World War 1 era and that there weren't many guns at the time, yes, I know that, and DICE knows that as well. That's why they are adding prototypes into the game that weren't even used during World War 1. But even though they did so, the problem still remains. We don't have enough weapons to play with, and I think that this might be the most important factor why people get bored so quickly of the game. Like, they only have 2 or 3 weapons for each class that are worth using, and other ones are just unusable. I know that it might be hard for some of you to understand, since most of the Battlefield 1 community is casual crowd, but most of the players want to have weapons that are at least somehow competitive compared to others, so they could fight other players. They will not use Madsen Storm, which is covering half of your screen with the magazine and has terrible accuracy. They will not go for these weapons. Everyone will use BAR instead. I'm not saying we should have more weapons in the game that weren't during World War 1 or just didn't even exist. My point is, if DICE doesn't want to add more weapons, then maybe they should rebalance the current ones and make some of them better. Like MP18 Experimental. What is this weapon? Nobody uses it, because it's so bad, and yet they can't see it. Like in previous Battlefield titles, you could do somehow good with every weapon, and in this title, you only have like 2 or 3 weapons that actually allow you to get kills. Of course, I know that there are players who want to play with trash guns, either to challenge themselves or just to get elite codexes, but that's not the case, okay? What I mean by saying all this is that if we don't want to have guns that weren't historically accurate in this era, then maybe we should rebalance the current ones and make them better and usable for more people. I really don't understand. Why can't be the MP18 Experimental that I'm mainly using in this video because it's the least used weapon in Battlefield 1? Why can't it be like AN94 from BF4, that it requires skill to tap, but if you tap it, you just drop enemies at the distance instantly? It would be something that would change the game and add more variety to the weapons. And yet, we can't really get this from DICE, since they don't even want to balance them. There's also the topic going on for the last couple of days where one of the big Battlefield YouTubers posted on Twitter, made a video, and said that why people want more weapons and why they complain about lack of content if they are not using the current weapons or the content in game, that they are using only 1 or 2 weapons. Let me answer the question for you. Because players don't want to go for the guns that don't provide them enjoyable experience. Why would they choose weapons that don't have anything better than the other ones? Like, that doesn't make any sense. They play FPS game, so they want to choose weapon that will allow them to be at least effective up to some point. And if you still don't get this, just ask yourself, why aren't you playing football in sandals? Because they aren't designed for playing football, and there aren't any good for that. As I said at the beginning, the main problem isn't the number of weapons, it is their balance. If DICE would rebalance all the weapons we have currently in the game, I promise you that there wouldn't be that many people complaining about the lack of content, because they would actually have 10 weapons to choose from instead of 2 or 3. And that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, see you on the battlefield.